Welcome to another edition of Getting Squared Away, Military Bearing for the Public Health Service Officer. I'm Lieutenant Commander Van Meer, and I have a couple special guests with me today, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But as you noticed, they're at attention. So I would say at ease, as you were. Now they're ready to join us in. And introduce yourself, please.
My name is Specialist Adedoyin.
And I'm PFC Helton.
Okay. And today what we're going to talk about is headgear and position of honor. Now, we'll just take one of these out. First thing I want to do is point out the one I'm wearing. This is what's authorized for those of us in the Public Health Service who are detailed or assigned to the DoD, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. And it's a little different. What you're probably used to seeing is more of the baseball cap. And the baseball cap is what we will wear when we're deployed. But when I'm here, this is what I'm authorized. It's the 8-point cover, which is kind of neat because it just kind of folds up and fits right into my pocket. But what do we call this?
A cover.
What do we not call it?
A hat.
If you hear somebody refer to this as a hat, what do you think of?
I definitely understand the person was talking about a cover. The reason why someone actually referred that to a hat is I'll think about it like probably this person has no real military idea of what it's really called.
Okay, and again, that's what we're talking about here is the military bearing. It's the little small things that we say or don't say that kind of tips people off. So if you have a high-ranking folk, somebody who walks in is referring to this as a cap, the folks that have been in the military for a while are going to go, what are they talking about? Okay, so what we're going to do is let's talk about covers outside. When we're in uniform, the cover is always worn when we are outside. So let's pretend we're outside. Okay, we never take it off as a greeting or a hat like that. Okay, we call it a cover because
Military bearing.
and we literally
Cover our head.
It covers our head. That's why we refer to it as a cover. Okay. You will sometimes be in places where they will talk about that it's an uncovered area. And usually on Air Force bases, if the cover slipped off and got into a jet engine, caused millions of dollars of damage. Most places, though, we're expected to wear our cover. Okay? We're also expected to salute, but that'll be another episode. We'll talk about it. Okay? So for safety reasons, sometimes, again, we won't wear this cover. We'll keep it on. As you notice, these are different covers. And so this one is called a what?
A PC.
And who usually wears these?
A regular Army soldier would wear this.
Okay, and you're wearing a
Beret.
okay, and the color of your beret is
Maroon.
and the importance of that.
So maroon berets are worn by anybody in an airborne qualified unit, such as 82nd Airborne.
Okay, and when we say airborne unit, we're talking about people that
Jump out of planes.
jump out of airplanes. Okay, which again is kind of why would you jump out of a good airplane? But it's a big tradition here in the Army, particularly at Fort Bragg. Where people think very highly of it. There's also different color berets we may see, and the Rangers, which people may be familiar with, wear what color?
Tan berets.
A tan beret, and then here at Fort Bragg, we train the
Special Forces.
Special
and they
Forces,
wear a green beret.
and they wear a green beret.
And then a normal Army soldier in dress uniform would wear a black beret.
Okay, so those are just some of the different kind of covers we would wear. Okay, now we take our cover off when we enter a
Building.
building. So we are in a building, so we take our cover off, and then we will put it nice and neatly in our pocket, okay, or wherever else that you may have. When entering a commercial or public building, such as a hotel or airline, we also remove our cover. Next, what we like to talk about is position of honor, okay, and why is there a position of honor?
A position of honor, this is an ancient military custom because for centuries men fought with swords, and because most men were right-handed, the heaviest fighting was basically on the right hand. Men and units who preferred to carry the fight to the enemies considered the right of the battle line to posts of honor.
Okay. And so the position of honor is important. We follow this in the Public Health Service. And so what it usually means is that rank is on the
Right.
right. So what we see here, your rank is
E3.
an E3, and the E stands for?
Enlisted.
Okay. And in another episode, we're going to talk about the differences between officers enlisted and NCOs, because that can be a little bit confusing. I know we, again, get briefed on this in Officers Basic Course, but for some of us, that may have been a little while ago. And next we have?
A specialist, E4.
E4. And E4, you'll see specialist, or you can also see a corporal.
A corporal.
Okay. So what we see is we have highest ranking would be me, Lieutenant Commander, followed by the others. Okay? So as we also look at how we do this, if we are in an automobile, the position of honor will be the back seat. So the senior officer will sit in the back seat unless they prefer to sit
In the front
in the
seat.
front seat. Okay? When there is a head of a table, like we have a function going on, the place of honor is to the right of the chairperson or the host of the center podium. Senior officers are always accorded the most desirable seats in all settings. A junior officer should open a door to allow the senior officer to enter first and then pass through after the senior officer. Same thing as if you're on the elevator. Some of the conferences we go to, like the PHS Symposium, you're going to be in with a lot of other officers, and if you're in the elevator, the senior officer will depart first. Kind of important to remember these types of courtesies and customs. Again, I want to thank our guests for coming in and helping us talk about this, and we'll see you next time.